And good afternoon, Hurricane fans. Happy Easter to everyone in our listening area. Welcome to Game 3 of the season weekend finale here between GSW and Francis Marion. As sophomore Harrison Timberlake, who closed out the game last night with the save, turns right back around 16 hours or so later to throw strike one to Will Hardy, freshman from right there in Florence, South Carolina. Timberlake 2 strikes ahead. Hardy hitting .347 on the year. As we wrap up, like we said, the Hurricanes with a big sweep yesterday, winning game 1 8-5. Coming back in the nightcap, winning 4-2. So the Canes have the longest winning streak right now in the Peach Belt at 3 wins, and we've won 7 of our last 10. Timberlake quickly ahead 0-2. And a slow tapper to Mamadis at short. Over to Huff to record the first out. So good start for Harrison Timberlake. That's going to bring up the 2-hole hitter for Francis Marion, number 49. Tanner Wakefield, another freshman from Gainesville, Georgia, Kings Ridge Christian High School. Wakefield this year hitting .291 on the season. Right-handed batter. As we said, facing sophomore Harrison Timberlake. Timberlake started the year as our closer. And in the last couple of weekends has also added some starting to his repertoire. First pitch swing in there, and the first hit of the game for Wakefield. So first pitch swing in, single right up the middle in between Mamadis and Beta, between second and short.
Now batting number 10.
It's going to bring up Gage Taylor, 5'11" senior from South Lebanon, Ohio. Taylor comes in the afternoon, hitting .337. The Patriots .285 as a team. And they ran into a little bit of struggle yesterday. 2 outstanding starting pitching performances by the Hurricanes. Tucker Smith in game 1, followed by A.J. Hayes in game 2. So the Canes looking for a third quality start here by Timberlake, who went 2 innings, like we said last night, to get the save. Ball bounce off of the glove of Timberlake over to Beta. Able to hit Huff in time to get the second out of the inning. So an economical start for Timberlake. Patriots first pitch swinging. And now Nick Pappas, junior infielder, bats left-handed from Columbia, South Carolina, 6'3", 220 pounds. Pappas on the year, .345 batting average. So runner in scoring position, 2 outs. If you weren't here for the nightcap yesterday, you certainly missed an exciting ending. As I was telling our assistant athletic director, Keith Micklig, if we did not have the play of the month on the last play, a shot out to center field, if you missed the call by Ryan Young and Scott Westbrook last night, go to our Twitter feed on GSW Athletics and take a look at that 30-second clip. A tremendous catch, a lot of enthusiasm on the call, and if that's not the play of the month, then like I said to Keith, we shouldn't have it. The 1-0 pitch on the outside corner evens the count at 1-1. So Scott and Ryan were out here yesterday, all 18 innings, probably close to 7.5, 8 hours. Certainly appreciate their help in carrying us through 2 wins yesterday. We'll talk more as the day goes on about playoff implications for the Hurricanes. We tied the school record for conference wins yesterday with our 12th win, the most all-time. Inside pitch there, caught the corner for strike 2. So 1-2, Timberlake trying to get out of a little bit of a jam here in the first inning. But as we said, the 12 wins ties the most ever in Josh McDonald's first year, picked dead last by every single coach in the preseason poll. And here we are fighting in the driver's seat for one of the final playoff spots in 2 weeks down in St. Augustine, Florida. Timberlake checks the 1-2 pitch. Pappas fouls it straight back, so we'll do it again. As we said, GSW dead last by the other 10 coaches in the poll. Coming off a 5-win conference season last year. Tied the school record this year, and we're not done yet. Got a finale of a 3-game series here. Then next weekend, right back at home against North Carolina Pembroke. So a chance to do something that's never been done here at GSW in the Division II era. Timberlake from the stretch, the 1-2 pitch. Upstairs, 2-2 to Pappas. Nikki Levering and the softball team split down at Flagler yesterday. And Nikki, in her second year, the 10 conference wins that we already have, also a Division II era record for Peach Belt Conference wins. They've already assured their seeding or their appearance in the postseason, and they can do no worse than the 7 seed. So congratulations to Coach Levering and all the lady softball players. Timberlake's 2-2 pitch. Skelton thought it was a strike. Mamadas thought it was a strike. The umpire didn't see it that way, so we go full here, 3-2. If I was Pappas, I'd be swinging here. I don't think he's going to get another borderline call like that. Timberlake checks into the signs from junior catcher Jacob Harrell. Comes set. Wakefield leading off first or second. Pappas skies a foul ball. Think there's going to be room there for Skelton if he could get there. Oh, and Mamadas and Skelton and Holcomb kind of in the Bermuda Triangle there. That would have been a great way to end the first inning. Unfortunately, Timberlake's going to have to do it again. So certainly a difficult attempt out there for Skelton, Mamadas, and Holcomb. Probably a little bit more than average room out there, I would say, Keith, down by the bullpen. Not cavernous, but not too tight. All three gave it great effort, but just hit in the perfect spot. So Timberlake will do it again. Full count to Pappas. As we said, it's Will Hardy on first base, or second base. The 3-2 pitch. Pappas fouls it off. Harrell could not hang on. No, I think I was right. Who's on second base? So I was right the first time. It is Wakefield on second. I'll get it figured out. No Ryan Young and Scott Westbrook. I'm all by myself today, Keith, so people have to bear with me. Timberlake comes set. The 3-2 pitch. Rolled on the ground to Mamadas. Mamadas up, on to Huff. And Timberlake gets out of the first inning. So for Francis Marion, no runs, 1 hit, no GSW errors. 1 runner left on base. We go to the bottom half of the first. Francis Marion, nothing. GSW coming to bat. Okay, back on the Surge Sports Network here on the campus of Georgia Southwestern State University. Beautiful day here in Americus, Georgia. Jason Beta, first pitch swinging, and he flies out to right field, so didn't get a chance much to talk about Jason. We'll catch up as he comes up the second time. And Tyler Skelton now batting. So Skelton digging in today against Isaac Rogers for Francis Marion, senior right-handed pitcher, 6'3", 185 pounds, Rock Hill, South Carolina native. On the season, this is Rogers' 10th appearance, his 10th start, pitching to a 6-1 record. I'm sorry, this is his 12th appearance with his 10th start. 6-1 record, an ERA of 3.88. 51 innings pitched, 51 hits. 26 runs, 22 are earned. Good strikeout to walk ratio, 16 walks, 50 strikeouts. And he faces the two-hole hitter, Tyler Skelton. Skelton playing third base today. As Rogers' second pitch goes in there for a strike, so evens the count at 1-1. Skelton playing third base, as we said. And Tyler's a 6'2" sophomore from Forsyth, Georgia, Mary Persons High School on the season. Tyler having a solid year, hitting .288 for the Hurricanes, 45 games played, 41 starts. Tyler up there with 16 RBIs for the Canes, playing a solid third base, seeing a little bit of time at first base as well. So Tyler's played both corner infield positions as a freshman last year, started every game at shortstop. So Tyler making his way around the infield. Rogers missed upstairs to fall behind 3-1 to the two-hole hitter, and he misses upstairs again. So Skelton aboard on a walk. We said Beta flew out to right field on the first pitch, and then Skelton walks on 5 pitches, bringing up the three-hole hitter, number 20, Jonathan Martin. 3-year starter for the Canes. Jonathan, a native of Irwinville, Georgia, Irwin County High School. 6'1" right fielder, bats left-handed, throws right-handed. Seen a little time on the mound as well this year. On the season, Jonathan hitting .304, which is good for second on the team, third on the team. Jonathan with 2 home runs and 28 RBIs. Rogers with a fastball, nipped the outside corner. Gets ahead 0-1. Skelton on first base. Jonathan Martin, the Cane right fielder, made a running play with the bases loaded in the 9th yesterday to secure Game 1. Had a great week last week. Same pitch, same spot, same result. 0-2 to Martin. Against Lander last weekend, Jonathan hit .588 as the Canes took 2 out of 3. So regardless of the outcome today, the Canes will have won the last 3 series. It started taking 2 out of 3 at Columbus State 2 weeks ago. Last weekend, 2 out of 3 against Lander. And we've jumped up 2-0 on Francis Marion as Rogers misses away 1-2. Canes have won 7 of their last 10. Playing as good a baseball as anybody in the Peach Belt and are working their way up the standings. The playoffs started today. The Canes would have the 8th seed. Off-speed pitch. Good pitch there from Rogers. And Martin goes down on strikes. Brings up freshman Hunter Foster. Again, if you weren't here last night, the catch Hunter Foster made, the 30-second clips on our Twitter feed. Go take a look. From Hazelhurst, Georgia, Jeff Davis High School, one of Coach McDonald's first recruit, freshman Hunter Foster. Been a pretty consistent hitter in the cleanup hole all year, battling a little bit of a turf toe as we close out the season. Rogers misses upstairs. Foster, team-leading .309 batting average. Also leads the team with 35 RBIs. Second on the team with 4 home runs. And he has 6 stolen bases. So Hunter does a little bit of everything, but that catch he made up against the center field wall last night saved the day. There were 2 on. There were 2 outs. Timberlake had 2 strikes on the Francis Marion cleanup hitter. And he gave it a ride out to center field. Foster twisting around, turned to his left, turned to his right, put his glove up and caught it up against the fence to lock up the sweep. Bouncing ball to short. They go to second, did not get it, so it's going to be an infield hit. Or will that be a fielder's choice, Keith? I think that's a base hit. I'm going to be in agreement with Keith Micklig there. I don't believe that there was any way they were going to get him. So a base hit for Hunter Foster. Now the Canes have something going here with 2 outs. Designated hitter Andy Moore to the dish. Andy, a redshirt sophomore from Warner Robins, Georgia, Houston County High School. On the season, Andy hitting .307. Looking to see if the Canes can draw first blood. If I'm not mistaken, I think we've scored in the first inning of both games yesterday. We'd certainly like to get off to a good start today. So Rogers from the stretch. Fastball grounded hard right at first. And Rogers covers the bag to end the inning. So for the Canes, no runs, 1 hit. No Francis Marion errors, 2 runners left on base. We go to the second inning. Your score remains Francis Marion, nothing. GSW, nothing. You're listening to the Surge Sports Network. All right, back here at Hurricane Stadium on the Surge Sports Network. We begin the top of the second here. Francis Marion designated hitter Leniel Gonzalez comes to the dish. Left-hander, 6'2", 230-pound junior from Sumter, South Carolina. Started both games yesterday in his DH role. Timberlake starts him off with the strike. For the season, Gonzalez a little bit over 300 at .303. 8 home runs, 35 RBIs, so some pop for Francis Marion's home run hitting leader. Wind not nearly as gusty. Harrison takes something off there, gets Gonzalez way out in front, 0-2. It was howling out here yesterday. Today, nice little breeze, all blowing straight out, but nothing like it was. Just a beautiful Easter Sunday. Not too hot, nice breeze. Timberlake ahead 0-2 to Francis Marion's DH. Upstairs and misses outside, 1-2. Taking a look around some of the leaders here for the Peach Belt, and you look at Tucker Smith, the junior right-hander for GSW. He leads the league in innings pitched, complete games, and ERA, and tied for first in wins. So just a tremendous bounce-back season. Tucker redshirted last year as Timberlake gets Gonzalez way out in front again, strike him out for the first out of the inning. So Timberlake, we said, pitched 2 innings yesterday. Wonder how long he'll be able to go. But he's off to a good start. And that's going to bring up number 21, the catcher for Francis Marion, Alex Griffith, a 5'10", 200-pound senior from Bristol, Virginia. On the season, Griffith 264. A lot of pop from Griffith, too. 6 home runs, 32 RBIs. Timberlake, with nobody on base, still pitches from the stretch. And he gets ahead 0-1. As we said, outstanding starting pitching the last couple of weekends from the Hurricanes. The usual from Tucker Smith yesterday, 5 innings of 1-run ball. But A.J. Hayes yesterday, 6 strong innings in his start, and A.J. came in and closed the first game. So Timberlake kind of doing what A.J. Hayes did. A.J. came in and got the last couple outs in the first game and then started the second. Timberlake got 2 innings worth last night, and now he's back for his second inning of work today. Misses with an off-speed pitch to even the count at 1-1. Timberlake, the furthest north that a Hurricane hails from. The 6'3" sophomore from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. IMG Academy, where he prepped down in Florida, so working his way a little bit north from his prep school days, but I think he enjoys the warm weather here at Southwestern. Behind in the count, 2-1 to Griffin. Upstairs, misses 3 balls and a strike. So if you want to take a look at the stats for Harrison Timberlake this year, coming into the game, 30 2/3 innings, 33 hits, a great walkout to strike ratio, or walk to strikeout ratio, 9 walks, 25 strikeouts, an ERA of 4.40. The 3-1 pitch, 2 bouncer to Mamadas, long throw to Huff. Bradley one-hops it and makes the play. So good play over there at first base by Huff. We retire Griffith for out number 2. And that's going to bring up number 16 for Francis Marion.
Batting number 16, C.J. Mackinson.
The shortstop, C.J. Mackinson, a 6'2", 190-pound senior from Sykesville, Maryland. Mackinson tried to make the play in deep short to get the speedy Hunter Foster in the first inning, and couldn't. Swings and misses for strike 1. On the season, Mackinson 263. All 43 games he's appeared in, he started. So he started every game this year for Francis Marion. 3 home runs, 24 RBIs. Timberlake ahead of the count, 0-1. Mackinson pops it up. Mamadas in short left field. So an easy inning for Harrison Timberlake. For the Patriots, no runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the second, your score. Francis Marion, nothing. GSW, nothing. You are listening to the Surge Sports Network on an Easter Sunday. Okay, we're back here on the Surge Sports Network. Bottom of the second here. Wow, great bunt by Bo Halcomb. That's going to stay fair. And a great bunt down the third base line. Gets the Canes
Now batting number 10, Bradley Huff.
Cooking here in the bottom of the second is going to bring up Bradley Huff, first baseman, 6 foot. Senior from Vienna, Georgia. Crisp County, also played at Middle Georgia State. And fans, next Monday, hard to believe it's already that time, the Athletic Awards Banquet. Next Monday night at 6:30 in the GSW Storm Dome, honoring all 10 of our varsity sports teams this year and coaches. Always a fun event, great slideshow at the end, so something we're certainly looking forward to. More information on our website, gswcanes.com. But like I said, hard to believe, another year in the books, and we're going to be getting closer to a week away now from that award ceremony. Always a good time. Food provided by Aramark, and always great to see the student athletes all dressed up and really putting on their best foot forward, and we're certainly looking forward to that. Rogers misses to Huff. 1 ball, no strikes. We said Halcomb. Great bunt down the third base line to get on base. The sophomore out of LaGrange and Marion Military Institute. Didn't get a chance to talk much to Bo or about Bo as he put one down. And now Huff ahead in the count 1-0. Rogers checks Halcomb. And Bo hits one between third and short. So the first 2 runners on board with base hits. Halcomb with a bunt. Huff a little bit more traditional, a 3-bouncer in the hole between third and short. And that's going to bring up freshman Matthew Mamatis, a 5'8 freshman, like we said, from McDonough, Georgia, Ola County High School, or Ola High School. Having a fantastic freshman season. If you haven't been following, Mamatis second in the league in at-bats with 186. The double play combination of him and Beta, 26 double plays, which is tied for 4th. And Mamatis also tied for 10th in the league with 13 doubles. He won't get a double here, though, as Coach McDonald's going to have him bunting.
Oh, yeah!
An aggressive base running by Halcomb. Mamatis held on the bunt and took strike 1, but Halcomb, as the infielders were playing for the sacrifice, steals third base. So first and third for the Canes, nobody out. And Mamatis facing an 0-1 count. For the season, Mamatis averaged up to 290. No home runs, 19 RBIs. And Matthews been moved around in the lineup, spent some time in the 2-hole, was down at the bottom towards the 8-hole, and now I think he's kind of settled in, if I'm not mistaken, batting 6th or 7th. Or maybe he's 8th today. So Mamatis reaches out and pops one up foul down the first base line. There'll be plenty of room there. And Mamatis can't get the run in with nobody out. So Rogers gets a big out there. And that's going to bring up the junior Jacob Harrell, one of the better catchers in the Peach Belt defensively, and a timely hitter for the season. Harrell hitting 195, but he has 18 RBIs, was leading the league in runners thrown out. So Jacob, a 5'9 junior, Rome High School in Rome, Georgia, with an opportunity here to get the first run of the game home. Rogers misses upstairs with a fastball. Jacob, a little bit of an interesting story. Grew up in Americus. His dad was the women's basketball coach at South Georgia Technical College. His mom was a math teacher at Sly County High School, and when Jacob's father accepted the job at Georgia Highlands, the family moved up to Rome. His dad's been a very successful junior college women's coach up at Highlands, and Jacob made his way back down to Americus a couple of years ago when he started his college career as a catcher. So I see the Harrell family here today, so always exciting to bring them back. The 2-0 count from Rogers. Fastball called strike across the letters. 2 balls and a strike to Jacob Harrell. No score here in the bottom of the second, but the Canes, first 2 runners on board. A Bo Halcomb bunt, a Bradley Huff single. Halcomb then stole third. That's where we're at. The 2-1 pitch. Rogers checks. And Harrell swings through a fastball. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here. GSW looking to get on top. They took the first 2 games of this series. Mamatis popped out foul to first. And now Harrell has a 2-2 count before we flip the order back to the top to Beta. Rogers comes set, the 2-2 pitch. Harrell swings through it and strikes out. So Rogers working out of a jam here.
Number 13, Jason Beta.
First and third with nobody out. Gets a pop out and a strikeout. Now he's facing Jason Beta, the switch hitting second baseman. Jason was first pitch swinging. Didn't get a chance to talk much about him the first time. 5'9 senior from Fruitland Park, Florida, Lake Sumter Community College, a junior college teammate of pitcher Tucker Smith. And Jason had quite a day yesterday. And taking a look at Jason's stats for the season, 264. Team leading 5 home runs. He hit one yesterday from the right side of the plate. He also tripled from the left side of the plate. So with 2 outs here, GSW doesn't want to squander this opportunity. Rogers comes set. Misses low, ball 1. So Beta first pitch swinging last time takes a ball here. As we said, Mamadas and Beta, the combination there at second and short, 4th in the Peach Belt in double plays. They've turned 26 this year. So Jason's been a consistent performer. Came as a third baseman, moved over to second early in his junior year. And this is going to be a 2-hopper to short. Nice play there, shortstop by McCracken, and that'll end the inning. So for GSW, no runs, 2 hits. There were no Francis Marion errors. 2 runners left on base. We've completed 2. Your score remains 0-0. Back after this on the Surge Sports Network. Damn. Not good. Not good, McLean. I thought we were going to blow it open there. All right, back here for the top of the third on the Surge Sports Network. Harrison Timberlake's third inning of work from the stretch. Outside ball 1 as he faces Brent Kemp. Kemp, a freshman, 6'2", 200 pounds from Wilmington, North Carolina. 3 freshmen in the starting lineup today for Francis Marion. Outfielder hasn't played much this year, hitting 188. Only 32 at-bats. Timberlake comes set and fires to even the count at 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike here. As we said, top of the third. GSW looking to complete the 3-game sweep. We swept a doubleheader yesterday. And looking to finish it off here in Game 3. A high fly pop up by Kemp. Mamadas calls off Skelton. Not quite as windy as yesterday, so Mamadas had to navigate a little bit of wind, but was able to do that, and that's going to bring up Patrick Jackson, 5'7", 155-pound junior, Hendersonville, North Carolina. Jackson plays quite a bit around the infield, settled in at second base for today's game. Hitting .258 on the season. Starts a little bit more than half the time. Timberlake misses with an off-speed pitch, ball 1. No home runs and 11 RBIs as the wind is picked up. Nothing like yesterday where it knocked out the scoreboard, Keith. So we're certainly glad to have the scoreboard back. Jackson, a hot shot to Beta. He gloved it but can't come up with it. So Jackson's aboard. They're going to give him a hit.
Number 5, Will Hardy.
Tough play for Beto. One hopper to his backhand side. He gloved it, but couldn't quite grab it. So the 9-hole hitter aboard for Francis Marion. That flips the lineup, and Will Hardy back to the plate. Hardy grounded out his first at-bat. Timberlake misses off speed. 1 ball, no strikes. We said Timberlake gave us 2 great innings last night to close things out for his 5th save. So although he's starting today, Timberlake is tied for 4th in the Peach Belt with saves with 5. As we said a couple of weekends ago at Columbus State, he worked his way into the starting rotation. So Timberlake, most of the year as a closer, this is his 3rd straight weekend starting, but he also had to come in and finish things off last night. 1 on and 1 out here, an even count at 1-1 to the leadoff hitter, Will Hardy. Timberlake comes set. Over to first. Taking Jackson's temperature over there at first. Nothing happening, Keith. Joined up here in the booth by Keith Micklig, who's running the camera, changing the angles that you see. Our compliments of our assistant athletic director, Keith Micklig. Timberlake's 1-1 pitch fouled off, so he's ahead 1-2. Golf team finished up today at the Peach Belt Championships down at Flagler College, finishing 7th out of 9 teams. First team all-conference, Vincent Norman, finished tied for 8th. She had an even par at the Slammer Squire Golf Club at the World Golf Hall of Fame in St. Augustine. A great venue down there and a great way for the golfers, both the men and the women in the Peach Belt, to finish out their competitive season down at the PBC Golf Championships as Hardy flares one foul down the third base line. So Vincent will make the NCAA tournament as an individual. The Canes will not advance as a team. And Vincent, as a junior, still has a chance to garner some All-American honors. So Darcy Donaldson and the crew, and Vincent will be heading out down to Florida for the Peach Belt Championships, or for the NCAA tournament, as Vincent will go as an individual. Hardy pops up behind the bag at second, and Amatis trolls out to short left field and makes the play. That's going to bring up for Francis Marion their 2-hitter Tanner Wakefield. Wakefield singled up the middle back in the first inning. Jackson takes his lead off first. No score here. Beautiful Easter Sunday on the campus of Georgia Southwestern State University. We'll talk a little bit more on the playoff implications here, as next weekend will be the final weekend of play in Peach Belt baseball. The softball team's already punched their ticket to Dahlonega. They will be playing in the conference tournament. They'll wrap up their regular season next Saturday at Columbus State. And then the following Thursday will make their way up to Dahlonega to play in their 2nd straight Peach Belt tournament. So congratulations to Coach Levering. As we said, 10 conference wins this year. The GSW record as Timberlake changes speed on Wakefield to get ahead, no balls and a strike. The split with Flagler yesterday gives us 10 wins. And Haley Tierce with 54 career home runs. Same pitch, same spot, different result. So now the count's 1-1. Not sure how they do this with 2 umpires, who gets to do the 2 games behind the plate and who does the field for 2 games, but this guy, I think, was the better of the 2 yesterday. I think it was tough because the home plate guy yesterday. Pop foul. Does Huff have enough room? Harold says he does. He does, and that ends the top of the 3rd. So 3 clean innings for Timberlake for Francis Marion. No runs, no 1 hit, no GSW errors, 1 runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Your score remains Francis Marion 0, GSW 0. We'll be back on the Surge Sports Network. We're back. Little technical difficulties there, but we're back. Tyler Skelton leading off the bottom of the third. He drew a 5-pitch walk back in the second. He's ahead of the count 3-0 here as we start the Canes half of the third. No score here at Hurricane Stadium. The get me over fastball by Rogers makes the count 3 balls and a strike. As we said, Skelton in his career has played all around the infield. Started every game at shortstop last year as a freshman. Began the season at first base and has worked his way over to third. So Rogers' 3-1 pitch. Bouncer to short. Stretched off the bag. And Francis Marion commits their first error of the game. So Skelton the board.
Batting number 20, Jonathan Martin.
A little bit of a wild throw there. That's going to bring up Jonathan Martin. Martin struck out swinging back in the first. As we said, if we took a look at some of the leaders in the Peach Belt Conference, Martin's 6th in the league with 181 at-bats. So a guy that's an everyday lineup guy and was a heck of a pitcher in high school and has actually thrown 2 innings this year. That may be something as his career continues that Coach McDonald may look at. So Jonathan takes ball 1, Skelton on first base. The Canes had something going in the second, first and third with nobody out. Rogers wiggled his way out of a jam to keep things scoreless. And Skelton gets aboard here to start the Canes third. Rogers comes set. Martin golfs it into right field. Going to his glove side. The right fielder makes the play. So 1 away. It's going to bring up Hunter Foster. Foster singled, an infield single back in the second. Or back in the first, I'm sorry. And again, checking those leaders in the Peach Belt. Foster's 6th in the league with 3 triples. If you hadn't had a chance to watch him run, he's got a little bit of a toe turf he's been battling through, but Hunter can really fly. Solidified himself as a freshman as our cleanup hitter, center fielder, and he's had a heck of a freshman season. Rogers comes with an off-speed pitch that catches the outside corner, so he's ahead in the count 0-1. Skelton the board on Francis Marion's first error of the game. Rogers comes set. The 0-1 pitch. Skelton thought about going. This one's fouled back. Straight back. Lands in the seats. A couple of Francis Marion parents. A little bit more collegial than the Lander parents, I will say. Keith agrees with me. So, good bunch. So, much less angst in the stands as there was last weekend. The 0-2 pitch misses upstairs, so Rogers, for the second straight inning, has had the leadoff hitter on. The final game of our 3-game set here. This is Francis Marion's last conference game. They've got the bye next weekend, so their season is over. Foster with the rocket to third, and they're going to double Skelton off. Good play by the third baseman. Foster hit it on the nose. For the Canes, no runs, no hits. There was 1 Francis Marion error. Nobody left on base. We complete 3. We're scoreless. Back after this on the Surge Sports Network. All right, back on the Surge Sports Network. We head to the top of the fourth inning. I'm Director of Athletics Mike Leader joining you today. We're a little bit short-staffed as our normal radio crew enjoying some Easter Sunday with the family. So you're stuck with me for the rest of the way as Timberlake gets strike one swinging to Gage Taylor. The pitcher's duel so far, matching zeros between Rogers and Timberlake. Foul ball just outside of first base. So Timberlake ahead quickly 0-2. As we said, this is Francis Marion's last game of the season. They're 24-19 coming in, 14-14 in the Peach Belt. And if you look at the Peach Belt with 11 playing baseball teams, only 10 can obviously be in action at one time. So somebody's got to have the weekend off. And Francis Marion, this will be their 29th game, so they've had a rain out in there somewhere. So as Timberlake skips the pitch up there to go to 1-2. So the Canes at 19-27 overall, but 12-14 in the league. So this is Francis Marion's last game of the season in the Peach Belt and their last game overall before the Peach Belt tournament. GSW welcomes North Carolina Pembroke in for a 3-game set next weekend. Timberlake from the stretch, the 1-2 pitch, just a bit upstairs. Taylor laid off, evens the count at 2-2. So GSW with the tiebreaker over Lander for the 8th spot. And then Pembroke comes in next week at the 10 spot. So a big swing and a miss. Harrell's got to go down to first. So Taylor down swinging. And then Harrell gets the assist from home to first. Is that right, Keith? Did I score that right?
Now batting number 42, Nick Pappas.
So Nick Pappas will come to the plate. Pappas ended the game last night. He gave it a ride out to center field. As we mentioned, if you get a chance to go to our Twitter at GSW Athletics, on Twitter, a great 30-second clip of the end of the game last night. Timberlake with an off-speed pitch that misses, I guess, outside. Coach McDonald doesn't like it. Now we got a discussion between the home plate umpire and the Hurricane dugout. I think that was a strike, but it wasn't called that way. So 1-0. Timberlake comes in with a fastball that Pappas fouls straight back. But if you get our website or the Twitter feed and watch that 30-second clip, Hunter Foster just made an unbelievable catch. Great call by Scott Westbrook and Ryan Young. A lot of enthusiasm. A great way to end the game last night. Gave us a sweep. It was fantastic. There was close to 1,000 views already, if I'm not mistaken. Huff takes the one hopper. Keith Mickley just showed me the replay of the pitch that the umpire called ball one. And, I know when I coached I was pretty hard on officials, but, boy, that was a bad call. But we got the out anyway. 2 outs now for Timberlake. And that's going to bring up, I've said his name so much I forget, Lineal. So I apologize to his parents if they're listening. Gonzalez, the home run leader for Francis Marion with 8. I believe he struck out swinging back in the second inning, if I'm not mistaken. Started all the games this weekend as the designated hitter for Francis Marion. Timberlake with 2 outs, and the base is empty. That's a good time to face the other team's home run hitting leader. Breaking ball for a strike. It looked like the same pitch he threw to Pappas. This one was called a strike. Good crowd out here for an Easter Sunday, so we welcome everybody out to the stadium on a beautiful day. If you enjoying some time with the family and are catching us on the Surge Sports Network, welcome aboard. Timberlake's 0-1 pitch outside with the fastball. Evens things out at 1-1. But a real nice crowd. As we said, some collegial fans from Francis Marion here have joined us for the weekend. Got some out there in right field that have set up a tent. Timberlake from the stretch, the 1-1 pitch. Fouled straight back by Ms. Deborah. And I see Christy Ward has made it over to the hospitality tent. Coach Eric Crawford, the men's soccer coach, also on board. So welcome to Coach Crawford. He's done a great job here in his first couple of months as the new men's soccer coach. The 1-2 pitch from Timberlake. Just a bit outside. Evens the count at 2-2. As we said, Timberlake gave us 2 innings last night. He's into his 4th inning of work here today. So at some point, you would think that the Canes are going to have to go to that bullpen, but this is as well as we've pitched all year, Keith, and consistently for these 3 games. The 2-2 pitch. Gonzalez thought about it but didn't swing, and it was low, 3-2. So battling back to run the count full is Gonzalez. Alex Griffith, the catcher, on deck. Timberlake's payoff pitch. Gonzalez pounds it down the right field line. That's going to be 2 as Martin comes in. And Gonzalez aboard with a 2-out double. So he turned on the 3-2 pitch. Drilled it down the right field line. Martin in the corner, hustled in, got it to Mamadas. So with 2 out and 1 on, the catcher, Alex Griffith, comes to the plate. Looking to crack the seal and get the first run across for either team. The line score right now pretty similar. Francis Marion, no runs, 3 hits, and 1 error. GSW, no runs, 3 hits, and no errors. Both teams have had runners in scoring position, but nobody has come through with the clutch hit. And for the Canes fans, let's hope Griffith isn't the first. Timberlake comes set. Fastball at the knees for strike 1. As we said, Griffith, the primary catcher, 38 games, 38 starts, hitting .264 coming into the game. Got a little pop from his side of the plate. Second on the team to Gonzalez's 8 home runs. Griffith has got 6 to go with 32 RBIs. Off speed, misses outside, 1-1. So Francis Marion has their 2 power hitters back-to-back in the lineup. The designated hitter, Gonzalez, and then Griffith. Timberlake comes set, the 1-1 pitch. Just misses. Harrell tried to frame it there. 2 balls and a strike. So Griffith ahead of the count here. Runner on second base, 2 outs. So what started as a quiet inning for Francis Marion has got exciting as Gonzalez with a 2-out double to get in scoring position. And now Griffith ahead in the count, 2-1. Timberlake misses off speed, 3-1. Three balls and a strike with shortstop C.J. Mackinson on deck. Timberlake would just as soon see him next inning. But he's behind 3-1 to the senior Griffith. Timberlake checks and misses upstairs, ball 4. So after getting 2 relatively quick outs, a double and a walk have put 2 on for Francis Marion. 2 on and 2 outs. And as we said, Timberlake pitched 2 innings last night, into his 4th inning of work this afternoon, and he now faces the shortstop, C.J. Mackinson. Coming into the game, Mackinson hitting .263 with 3 homers and 24 RBIs. So 2 on, 2 out. And a lazy fly ball right at Hunter Foster. So good job by Harrison Timberlake for Francis Marion. No runs and a hit. It was a double by Gonzalez. No hurricane errors. 2 runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th, still scoreless. We'll be back after this on the Surge Sports Network. Okay, back on the Surge Sports Network, we go to the bottom of the fourth. Canes designated hitter Andy Moore first to the plate. Rogers misses with an off-speed pitch inside. So Moore ahead in the count, 1-0. Mike McNeely here with the shirt way unbuttoned. Really enjoying a little Sunday afternoon, a little Easter Sunday. Moore ropes one into right field. Let's see if he can get two out of it. Andy's digging. Nobody's covering second. So that's an easy double for Andy Moore. So a good start to the Canes' fourth. The 1-0 pitch, Moore turned on it and drove it into the right field corner.
Now batting number 25, Bo Halcom.
And that's going to bring up Bo Halcom. Didn't get a chance to talk much about Bo. Bo laid down a bunt on the first pitch for a base hit back in the second. Bo's a sophomore, transferred from Marion Military Institute, originally from LaGrange, Georgia. So Bo's having a good season, a tremendous outfielder in left field. He's hitting .225 for the season. Does a lot with the extra bases. 3 homers, 29 RBIs, but Bo also has 4 triples. Rogers misses for ball 1. So Halcom second in the Peach Belt with 4 triples, tied with his teammate Jason Beta. Beta tripled yesterday to start the game. So Halcom and Beta tied for second in the Peach Belt with 4 triples. Andy Moore leads off second. Rogers misses again, 2 balls and no strikes. So Andy turned on that 1-0 pitch, hammered it into right field. Got rattling around in the bullpen down there, and he cruised into second with a stand-up double. And now Halcom ahead in the count, 2-0. Rogers sets. Off-speed pitch in there for a strike. 2 balls and a strike. Rogers done a good job so far. He's wiggled his way out of some jams. This is his 10th start of the year. Senior from Rock Hill, South Carolina. That's where Winthrop University is, Keith. Did you know that? Yes, Rock Hill, yes. Right on the border near Charlotte, North Carolina. So you're right on the very north South Carolina, and then Charlotte is very south North Carolina. So they're very close to each other. Some useless trivia there for you. Yes, so Rogers evens the count at 2-2 as Halcom fouls back to 2-1 pitch. So Moore at second with a leadoff double. Let's see if Halcom can do a job, as they say in baseball here, and get him to third base with 1 out. Rogers misses upstairs with a fastball, so we run the count full. Senior first baseman Bradley Huff on deck. Huff's got a little pop to his bat, too, so I don't think that Rogers is going to want to put another one on. The payoff pitch to Halcom. Got him reaching. Does Griffiths have room? He does not. Good pitch by Rogers. Halcom had to fight it off. Griffith just ran out of room up against the brick wall. Great effort, though, by the senior catcher. So the senior battery of Rogers and Griffiths will have to do it again. Halcom stayed alive on a 2-2 pitch. Well, this would be bucking the trend, Keith. The 4th inning has not been kind to the Hurricanes this year. The opponents have outscored us 54-18 in the 4th inning. So we've done our part at the top of the 4th. Let's see if we can get a run in the bottom half. Rogers from the stretch checks Moore. The payoff pitch. And we'll have to do it again as Halcom fouls it straight back. 1 hopper off of Anthony Drive and into the trees. Near where the baseball locker room will be next year, Keith. An indoor hitting facility. So we'll talk about the hailstorm later on in the broadcast. Coming up in about 2.5 weeks, so we're certainly excited about that. Rogers comes set to payoff pitch to Halcom. Off speed again. A towering fly ball to center field. No way Moore can advance, so Halcom cannot get the runner over. Good piece of pitching by Rogers. And that's going to bring up senior first baseman Bradley Huff.
Looking at a lion in a dogfight.
Huff, a 6-foot senior, as we said, from Vienna. Got his average up to 270 coming into the game. 2 homers, 16 RBIs. And one memorable walk-off double as we beat North Georgia back on March the 2nd or the 3rd, I believe. It was that Sunday. We were down 8-0 in the first inning, came all the way back to win 15-14 as Huff doubled in Bo Halcomb to win the game on a walk-off. Rogers comes with the off-speed pitch, and he's ahead of the count 0-1. So a leadoff double by the designated hitter Andy Moore to start the 4th. Rogers got Halcomb on a 3-2 pitch and kept Moore at second. So Rogers doing a good job, as we said, wiggling in and out of trouble. Huff way out in front. So Rogers ahead 0-2. Mamadas on deck. Mamadas popped out to first base with runners at first and third back in the second inning. So Huff's got a battle here. 0-2. Sophomore Andy Moore on second. Rogers sets the 0-2 pitch. He's got Huff way out in front. Griffiths is going to have to throw him out at first, and he does. So tough at bat there for Bradley Huff.
Number 7, Matthew Mamadas.
2 good pitches there by Rogers, and he's trying to work his way out of another jam. So now it's going to take a 2-out hit from Mamadas, the freshman shortstop. As we said, popped up foul to the first baseman in his first at-bat. He's got a chance here. Going to have to be a well-placed hit to get Moore home. Rogers sets, catches the outside corner, strike one. So after, again, Moore scalded a double into the right field corner. It's been a lazy fly to center field for Halcomb. Huff strikes out swinging. And now it's up to the freshman Mamadas. Behind in the count, 0-1. Rogers sets. Mamadas swings and misses. So Rogers has found something here to Huff and Mamadas. Fast-moving game here for the finale, which will help Francis Marion for that 6.5-hour bus ride home. Rogers comes set, the 0-2 pitch. Misses up and away. Mamadas was not fishing. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's going to take a 2-out hit to get the leadoff double home for the Hurricanes and draw first blood here. We're scoreless in the bottom of the 4th. In a pitcher's duel, Rogers locking horns with Harrison Timberlake. Rogers comes set, the 1-2 pitch. Misses in the dirt. Mamadas evens the count at 2-2. As we said, coming into the game, Rogers with a 3.88 ERA, staff leading 6 wins, only 1 loss, and he has a complete game to his credit. The senior from Rock Hill comes set. And Mamadas drills it down the third base line, foul by about 2 feet. So Rogers will get the ball from the umpire, and he'll do it again. Very cleanly played series. Neither team with a lot of errors. In the doubleheader yesterday, only 1 today so far, and a tough chance for the shortstop for Francis Marion. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball. Griffiths hangs on. He strikes out Mamadas. So the Canes squander a leadoff double. We go to the 5th. We're still scoreless. Back after this on the Surge Sports Network. Back here for the top of the 5th inning at Hurricane Stadium. Freshman Brett Kemp facing Harrison Timberlake. Kemp first pitch swing into Huff. 1 pitch, 1 out. So an efficient start for Harrison Timberlake as we go to the 5th inning here. Pitcher's duel here between Timberlake and Rogers. No score either way. There's the guy from the PA or the radio guy from last night. As I said, if you get a chance, go to Twitter, GSW Athletics, and watch the call. That 30-second clip was fantastic last night. Timberlake working from the stretch, even with nobody on base. And he gives up a single to right field. Jackson just lines it over Beta's head. Martin picks it up on 2 hops. So Francis Marion picks up their 4th hit of the afternoon. And that's going to bring up Will Hardy. They flip the lineup again. So the left-handed hitting Hardy comes up. 1 on and 1 out for Francis Marion here in the 5th inning. The final game of this 3-game set. And for Francis Marion, the final game of their regular season. The Patriots, as we said, 14-14 in Peach Belt play. Timberlake comes set. First pitch fouled out by Chris Finn. Chris out here on Easter Sunday doing a great job taking pictures as he always does. We certainly appreciate everything Chris does for the athletic department. When we watch that slideshow at the banquet, it'll be mostly pictures from Chris Finn. So always appreciative of Chris's hard work and volunteer work at that. Timberlake comes set ahead 0-1. Misses outside to even the count at 1-1. Jackson on first base. Took a Timberlake fastball and hit it into right field for the Patriots' 4th hit of the game. And now they start it all over again with the top of the lineup and Hardy. Only a freshman. 3 freshmen starting today for Francis Marion. Off-speed pitch that's chopped foul behind home plate by Hardy. So Timberlake ahead in the count, 1-2. Fast-moving game. We're in the 5th inning. We've only been at it a little bit more than an hour. Crowd continues to mill around. A great day to get some sun if that's your deal. The 1-2 pitch lined up the middle. So Francis Marion has something going here in the 4th with back-to-back hits.
Now batting number 49, Tanner Wakefield.
And that's going to bring up Tanner Wakefield. Wakefield singled back in the 1st inning. So the Patriots now have something working. They got their 5th hit of the afternoon. So back-to-back hits by Jackson and Hardy. You know, Timberlake in a jam. Rogers has worked his way out of a few jams. Let's see if Timberlake can continue to put some zeros up. He's got the heart of the order now for Francis Marion. Chases Jackson back to second. Big game here for GSW. And trying to make that playoff push. Timberlake comes set. His 5th inning of work. Does it again. Jackson not going anywhere. As we said, Timberlake closed it out last night with 2 innings to get his 5th save, which is 4th in the Peach Belt. And now starting today, his 3rd start of the year. Good bunt. Timberlake only 1 play at first. All right, and he gets him out. So Wakefield moves the runners.
Now batting number 10, Gage Taylor.
For Gage Taylor. Taylor came into the game hitting .337, 4 home runs, and 45 RBIs. So we got the Francis Marion RBI leader up. And a spot here in the 5th. Scoreless game in an open base. So it'll be interesting to see how Timberlake approaches the RBI leader for the Patriots. And he's coming right at him. Fastball right down the middle, strike 1. So Gage Taylor, 16 doubles, 2 triples, 4 home runs, and 45 RBIs. Tight spot here for Timberlake. 2 on, 2 outs. Back-to-back singles by Jackson and Hardy, followed by a bunt, have put the runners at second and third. Ground ball, Beta, Timberlake covering, and Beta throws it, and that's going to be 2 runs. So a ground ball. Not so sure Huff should have been diving for that one. If he'd have gone back and covered first, we might have had a chance, but
Now batting number 42, Nick Pappas.
I'm not sure how they're going to score that one. Beta came up with the ball. Timberlake was having to come and cover, but could not get there. Beta's throw way in front of Timberlake. Skidded down. Maybe a hit and an error. We'll have some debate going on as Pappas comes to the plate. Runners still in scoring position now with Gage Taylor at second base. So Francis Marion draws first blood, 2-0 here in the top of the 5th. Off-speed pitch in there for strike 1. So Pappas, the left-handed hitting swinger, 4 home runs, 37 RBIs coming into the game. So this is certainly the meat of the Francis Marion order. They're going to score that a hit and an error. So 1 RBI. And then the runner scores on the error, and the runner advances to second on the error as well. Off-speed pitch just misses, so evens the count at 1-1. So a hit for Gage Taylor, an error for Jason Beta, 1 RBI for Taylor, although 2 runs scored. The Canes' second error of the game. Fastball, Pappas went down and got it. That was, I think, our first error of the game. That was our first error, yes. So Timberlake ahead 1-2. Makes you lament the chances we had a little bit earlier, Keith, where we didn't produce. So we're still scoreless, or have no runs. We're not scoreless here in the game as Francis Marion has jumped on top 2-0. Timberlake digs in. The cleanup hitter Pappas behind in the count 1-2. Timberlake checks. And a high pop-up. With the wind, this could be trouble. Everybody coming in. Holy cow. Great play by Beta as he had to dive backwards to make the catch. But the Canes get out of it. For Francis Marion, 2 runs, 3 hits. There was 1 GSW error. 1 runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Francis Marion leads 2-0. Back after this on the Surge Sports Network. Okay, back on the Surge Sports Network as we go to the bottom of the fifth. Francis Marion picks up 2 in the top. Half of inning number 5 to go ahead 2-0. Junior Jacob Harrell starts us off here in the bottom of the fifth. Rogers misses with an inside fastball. And then Harrell takes the 1-0 pitch and drives it down the left field line. Let's see if Jacob can get 2 out of this. He sure can. So for the second straight inning, GSW with a leadoff double. So Jacob Harrell pulls the 1-0 pitch just inside the bag at third base. So Moore led us off last inning with a double down the right field line. Harrell takes it down the left field line. And that's going to bring up Jason Beta. So far, Isaac Rogers has been like Houdini. He's got himself in and out of trouble. And now faces the top of the Hurricane order as the bullpen starts to stir down there for GSW. Rogers misses upstairs, ball 1. So the senior second baseman, Jason Beta, trying to answer Francis Marion's 2 runs in the top of the fifth. Harrell on board with a leadoff double. Rogers checks. Harrell not going anywhere. Rogers misses away. 2 balls and no strikes to the Canes' leadoff hitter. As we said, Rogers has pitched himself into trouble, but he has pitched himself out of trouble each time, has not given up a run yet, and has really made some big pitches when he's had to. He's in another spot here. 2 balls and no strikes. Off-speed pitch in the dirt. And now he's behind 3-0 to switch hitting second baseman Jason Beta out of Leesburg, Florida. Tyler Skelton on deck. Rogers comes set, the 3-0 pitch. Misses way upstairs, ball 4. So the Canes now have the first 2 runners on board.
Batting number 1, Tyler Skelton.
And that's going to bring up sophomore third baseman number 1 from Forsyth, Georgia, Tyler Skelton. And now the Francis Marion bullpen starts to stir as Rogers has given up a leadoff double and a walk on 4 pitches to Jason Beta. Looks like Matthew Snyder is down there beginning to loosen, and I don't know, Cole Garrett looks like he's moving around down there. So a lot of stretching going on. Nobody's throwing yet. Skelton shows bunt. Inside pivot there at second base to see what Harrell was doing. So Coach McDonald looking to move some runners around. Canes have had some chances, but Rogers keeps wiggling his way out of trouble. He's a senior and he's pitched like it. He's got himself in and out of jams. You can see why he's a 6-1 record. Comes in there strike 1, but he's been tough when he's had to be. The staff leader in wins for the Patriots. The Canes haven't been able to figure him out yet. He's put up 4 scoreless innings. But he worked his way out of a first and third jam in the second with nobody out. Now he's got first and second with nobody out. Skelton shows bunt again. Gets a good one down. Oh, that's going to be a hit. And now the bases are loaded. Tyler Skelton puts down a great bunt as Rogers came off the mound. He was falling off to first base. The third baseman went to cover third. The shortstop went to second. And nobody was there to pick up the ball. So Skelton the board on a base hit. And now the Canes have the bases loaded, nobody out, and right fielder Jonathan Martin to the plate. And we're going to take a break as the Patriots going to talk some strategy on the mound. All right, back here, the mound visit's over. And Rogers comes in off speed to the Canes' 3-hole hitter, number 20, right fielder Jonathan Martin. Martin struck out back in the first and flew out to right field in his last at-bat. So the bases are loaded. Let's see if Rogers could wiggle his way out of this one. He's done a good job so far getting out of trouble. This is the most trouble he's been in. Bases loaded, nobody out. Off-speed pitch, and Martin drives it down the right field line. That's a fair ball, and that's going to clear the bases. Here goes the pinwheel. 1 run scores, 2 run scores. Martin thought about 3, but he stays at second. So a no-out double that clears the bases. Harrell, Beta, Skelton, all around to score, and the Canes take the lead 3-2. So Rogers off-speed strike 1 to Martin. Did not fool him with strike 2, and Martin golfs it into the right field bullpen. A stand-up double that scored Harrell. It scored Beta. And it scored Skelton, all standing up to clear the bases. And GSW leads 3-2. Martin with good speed at second. The Francis Marion bullpen starts warming up. Martin, good lead off second. Foster pops it straight up in the air. And that's an easy out. I believe Jackson, the second baseman, made the play. But I could be wrong. He's behind the dugout. So Rogers with a big out there. Going to bring up Andy Moore, the designated hitter, who doubled down the right field line. Back in the fourth. Has an opportunity to pick up an RBI here. I think a base hit to the outfield gets Martin in easily with his speed. Canes up 3-2 with 1 out here in the 5th. Rogers comes set, takes a look at Martin. About a 3-step lead off a second. Checks him again. Fastball misses down low. 1 ball and no strikes. Back in the 4th, Moore hammered a double, which is his 6th of the season. And right there, Jonathan Martin with his 14th double, and now he has 31 RBIs. The 1-0 pitch misses just outside. Looked good, but it's just outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Bo Halcomb on deck for the Canes. 1 out here in the 5th. As we said, Martin picked up his 14th double, his 31st RBI on the campaign. So for the first time today, Rogers trailing in the game. It's 3-2. The 2-0 pitch. Good pitch in there for a strike. 2 balls and a strike. Moore with 1 home run on the year, a towering shot at USC Aiken a little bit more than a month ago. Big game here for the Hurricanes. We got 3 no midweek games next week. Just 3 with Pembroke. Tapper back to the mound. Rogers will do it by himself, but it does move the runner 90 feet to third base. So a 2-out hit would be nice for Bo Halcomb. Halcomb with 1 hit today. Dumped an infield bunt down the third base line for a hit. Martin on third, 2 outs. The Canes lead 3-2. So we've answered Francis Marion's 2 with 3 of our own. Halcomb thought about doing it again. Rogers with a breaking pitch in there for strike 1. Bo with a great bunt down the third baseline his first time up. Bo's got good speed out there too, so Martin can run as well. Rogers comes set, the 0-1 pitch. Off speed, Halcomb pops it straight up in the air. Jackson calls for it, makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. But for GSW, 3 runs, 2 hits. There was no Francis Marion errors. 1 runner left on base. We've completed 5. Your score, GSW 3, Francis Marion 2. Back after this on the Surge Sports Network. All right, we're back here on the Surge Sport Network. Top of the sixth, Canes up 3-2. You look on your graphic there. The Hailstorm, GSW's signature athletic fundraising event, May the 10th, Providence Springs Plantation. We're certainly excited about the first annual Hailstorm. A chance for you to win $25,000. And if you take a look at the website, gswcanes.com/hailstorm, $100 will get you your ticket to win $25,000. $100 will get you entry to the Providence Springs Plantation reception. There'll be food from Cousins Catering, free alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks, a live band, but most importantly, about 7:30 p.m., a helicopter from the Friends of the Army in Ozark, Alabama, will come and drop 2,000 golf balls. And if yours is closest to the pin, your $100 investment could net you $25,000. Second prize will be $10,000. Golf balls 3 through 9 closest to the pin will win $1,000, and the ball furthest away from the pin will also win $1,000. So the GSW signature Hailstorm event, May the 10th, Providence Springs Plantation. We hope you can come out and join us. It'll be a lot of fun. In addition to the 10 prizes we have, like I said, food from Cousins Catering comes with your ticket purchase, alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages, music from the Answer Band, and all it does is cost you $100. Corporate sponsorships available as well, starting at $500. So it should be a fun evening. As we said, go to our website, gswcanes.com/hailstorm for more information.
Batting number 21, Alex Griffith.
Timberlake gets the first out of the sixth inning. A line shot out to Jonathan Martin in right field. Didn't have to move. And that's going to bring up the catcher, number 21, Alex Griffith. Griffith singled in his last at-bat. And now comes to the plate, Francis Marion trailing today for the first time this afternoon. 3-2 as we're in the sixth inning. Francis Marion picked up 2 in the top of the fifth. GSW answered with a 3-run bases-clearing double by junior right fielder Jonathan Martin. The fans really getting on the home plate umpire. Timberlake's off-speed pitch called the ball. Looked like it sunk in there, but he hasn't gotten that call all day, so the guy is consistent. Fastball misses away. 2 balls and no strikes with 1 out here. And I think the home plate umpire has heard enough. The fans are really chirping him hard. He's been consistent. He has not given that. He doesn't like the big breaking ball, as Assistant Athletic Director Keith Micklig has pointed out. I think he's issued the formal warning. I think he's confused the fans with Coach McDonald. But like I said, he's been consistent. That pitch has not been called a strike all day, so chirping at him's not going to help. Fastball swung and missed, so 2 balls and a strike. So I think as a coach or as a player, you can only ask for consistency, and he has been consistent. So whether you agree or disagree, he has been consistent, and he's not going to call the off-speed breaking pitch, and the GSW fans probably not helping our cause by continuing to chirp at him. Timberlake behind 2-1 in the count. Another fastball to Griffith. Missed low and away. 3 balls and a strike. And I think my comment right there, that was a borderline pitch that we're not going to get the benefit of the doubt there. So I'm not so sure that the chirping is helping our cause. Timberlake's 3-1 pitch. Fastball in there. Griffith, guys, no. Got me? Got it? We clear? Okay. So the count runs full to Griffith. Timberlake comes set. The 3-2 pitch. Fastball chop foul. Skelton goes to his backhand side. About 5 feet beyond third base, but it was foul, so we'll do it again. As we said, Francis Marion comes into the game 24-19, 14-14 in the Peach Belt. This will be their last regular season game of the year. They're in a pretty good spot for the playoffs. Or a pretty good position right now. The 3-2 pitch. Griffith hammers it into left field. Holcomb's going to come up throwing. Griffith takes a wide turn, but he'll stay right there at first base. So Alex Griffith with his second hit of the game. A line shot over the head of Tyler Skelton.
Now batting number 16, C.J. Mackinson.
And that's going to bring up the shortstop, C.J. Mackinson. So 1 on, 1 out here in the Francis Marion 6th. They trail 3-2 in Game 3 of this 3-game set. Timberlake, as we've said several times, 2 innings last night. He's into his 6th inning of work this afternoon. And a couple of guys hovering in the bullpen for GSW. Fastball upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes to C.J. Mackinson. The Canes have gotten 3 really good starting pitching performances. Tucker Smith, A.J. Hayes, and now Harrison Timberlake. Fastball misses again upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes, and now Jacob Harrell's going to go out there and have a word with the sophomore right-hander. Canes lead 3-2. Canes won 2 games yesterday, 8-5 in Game 1. We had an 8-1 lead going into the 7th and had to put out the fire with a Francis Marion had the bases loaded with 2 outs in the 9th and got out of that one. We won the second game 4-2. And again, it took some heroics from Hunter Foster. 2 on and 2 outs. Pappas drove a ball to deep center that Hunter Foster crashed into the fence and made it dead center to end the game. Timberlake's 2-0 pitch misses outside. 3 balls and no strikes. Now there's some throwing in the bullpen. Who is that? Cole? Snyder? Matt Snyder. Getting loose. Timberlake loses him on 4 pitches. So 2 on and 1 out.
Batting number 40, Brett Kemp.
The freshman Brett Kemp comes to the plate. Pop out to shortstop, and then he grounded out to first base. And that's going to bring a visit from first-year Canes pitching coach Matt Lamoth. Strides to the dugout, or to the pitching mound. To have a word with sophomore Harrison Timberlake. We'll be back after this. Goes back to the dugout. Kemp digs in against Timberlake. 2 on, 1 out. Canes lead 3-2 in the 6th. Fastball in there for strike 1 by Timberlake. As we said, Kemp popped out to shallow left field. Mamadas went out there to make the play. In his first at-bat, his second at-bat, first pitch swinging, he rolled a grounder to Bradley Huff. So 0 for 2 is the freshman outfielder, and he's behind in the count 0-1. Timberlake comes set, checks the runners. Off-speed pitch misses outside. Griffith started things off after a fly out to right field. Griffith took a 3-2 pitch and smashed it over Skelton's head at third for the first hit. And then a 4-pitch walk to McCacken. Has 2 Patriot runners on. And Kemp at the dish. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball pop. That's going to be trouble. Mamadas going out. Boy, Kemp put it right where he needed to put it. In the Bermuda Triangle over there. So tough chance for Mamadas, a diving attempt that he got a glove on, but no way he could make that play. So Kemp aboard on a flare to left. And now Francis Marion has the bases loaded. And 1 out.
Batting number 6, Patrick Jackson.
Patrick Jackson, who singled in his last at-bat, comes up with the bases loaded and a chance to tie things up here. And now the bullpen moves in earnest as Matt Snyder starting to heat it up. Snyder pitched inning yesterday in the first game. Did not allow a run. Got his first collegiate win on Wednesday night at Valdosta State. Pitched 6 strong innings in a 12-2 Hurricane win down in Valdosta. Timberlake starts Jackson off with an off-speed pitch for strike 1. So the Canes playing a double play depth here. Be a nice time for Beta and Mamadas to roll their 27th leading double play. Timberlake comes set. The 0-1 pitch to Jackson. Upstairs, 1-1. Francis Marion scored 2 at the top of the 5th. GSW answered with 3 in the bottom half. And now Francis Marion has loaded the bases here with 1 out. The 1-1 pitch from Timberlake. Off-speed pitch misses, 2 balls and a strike. So the first batter flies out to right field, and a single, a walk, and a flare have loaded the bases. And Jackson, the 9-hole hitter, they'll flip the order here after Jackson bats. Timberlake behind 2 balls and a strike. Spikes a fastball in there, 3 balls and a strike, and there's nowhere to put him. And Harrison may be running out of gas here. As we said several times, he gave us 2 innings last night, and he's working into his 6th inning today. Snyder continues to loosen. So Timberlake's going to have to come up with something here. 3 balls and a strike to Jackson. The pitch, outside, ball 4, and that's going to get a run. So we've tied the game on a 5-pitch walk. And Francis Marion has turned the lineup over. So freshman Will Hardy, the leadoff hitter. Bases loaded, 1 out. Tie game now. Francis Marion has tied it here in the 6th. 3-3. Be interesting to see if Hardy may put one down here. Leadoff speed. Timberlake misses ball 1. This may be Timberlake's last batter. Timberlake working from the stretch. Wakefield on deck. A couple of big batters here, because we certainly don't want to see 3, 4, and 5 up with runners on base. Timberlake comes set. The 1-0 pitch gets away from Harrell, and that's going to score another run. So Timberlake misses. That's a pass ball, right? Pass ball for Harrell. And each runner moves up 90 feet, so the Canes in a little trouble here in the 6th. A pass ball gets in a run, and now 2nd and 3rd. Still 1 out, and a 2-0 count to the leadoff hitter, Will Hardy. Snyder continues to heat it up in the bullpen. Francis Marion now leads by 1. Hardy fouls one into the Patriot dugout. The 2-1 pitch, Timberlake comes set. Hardy digs in. Fastball misses away. 3 balls and a strike. Three balls and a strike. Timberlake comes set. The 3-1 pitch. Smashed into center field. Foster's got a beat on it. That's going to be a sacrifice fly, so Hardy does his job. Advances the runner. So Kemp comes home to score on Hardy's sacrifice fly, and Francis Marion takes the lead 5-3.
Batting number 49, Tanner Wakefield.
2 out, still a runner in scoring position at second base for Francis Marion. But a 3 spot here in the top of the 6th puts the Canes back down 5-3. Timberlake trying to get through the 6th here. Facing freshman Tanner Wakefield. As we said, 3 freshmen in the starting lineup today for the Patriots. Kemp singled, a little bloop single in this inning. Hardy with the sacrifice fly, so the freshmen have delivered. The sweeping curveball that hasn't been called a strike all day, not again today, so it's not on this at bat. 1 ball, no strikes. So the freshmen for Francis Marion have produced here in the 6th. Swing and a miss to even the count at 1-1. Jackson steals third. Not sure if we weren't checking the runner or didn't have any idea, just kind of conceded the base, but it was a swing and a miss by Wakefield. And Jackson gets an easy stolen base, off-speed pitch by Timberlake, swung and missed again by Wakefield. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here. Wakefield came into the game hitting .291, so good numbers for a freshman. 29 appearances, 22 starts this year. Hits it on the nose right at Mamadas. Mamadas over to Huff, and the Canes get out of it, but not before Francis Marion picks up 3 runs on 2 hits. No Hurricane errors, 1 runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Francis Marion 5, GSW 3. Back here for the bottom of the 6th, an 0-1 count to Bradley Huff. Sorry I had to run out there and get a Diet Coke, but Huff falls behind 0-2. Pitching change here for Francis Marion. So you can close the book on Isaac Rogers. Number 28, Orlando Patrick, has made an appearance for Francis Marion. First out of the pen today. Patrick, a 5'10 junior, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Coming into today as he strikes Huff out. 15 appearances all out of the bullpen, an 0-1 record, 3.68 ERA, 22 innings, 21 hits, 5 walks and 17 strikeouts for the junior. It's going to bring up freshman Matthew Mamadas as Huff goes down swinging. So 5 innings for Rogers today. Did a good job. Like we said, wiggled himself in and out of trouble. Mamadas fouls the first pitch back. If I'm not mistaken, I think Orlando pitched in the first game yesterday, didn't he? Or no? One of the 2 games. He pitched at some point yesterday, so we could just say he pitched yesterday. The 0-1 pitch to Mamadas. Lined right back. Easy out number 2 for Orlando. So Mamadas 0 for 3 today. That's going to bring up Harrell. Harrell doubled and came around to score last inning. He led the inning off with a double right inside the third base bag. Came around to score when Jonathan Martin cleared the bases to give the Canes a 3-2 lead, but Francis Marion picked up 3 of their own. And Harrell hit a rocket right at Mackinson, and a good play by the shortstop. So for the Canes, a quick no runs, no hits, nobody left on base, no Francis Marion errors. We go to the 7th, 5-3 Francis Marion. We go to the 7th here on the Surge Sports Network. Pitching change for GSW. Number 27, freshman Matt Snyder. 6'2 freshman from Atlanta, Georgia's Skipstone High School. Coming on to relief of Harrison Timberlake. Starts the 3-hole hitter, Gage Taylor, who singled an RBI in his last at-bat. He misses with ball 1. Snyder pitched yesterday out of the bullpen in game 1. Comes in for a strike. Coming into today, Snyder. This is his 17th appearance. He's made 7 starts. He's 1-2 on the season, an ERA of 7.78 in 37 innings. He's given up 53, now 54 hits. 40 runs, 32 are earned, 25 walks, 24 strikeouts, and Taylor takes the 1-1 pitch and starts the 7th inning off with a line drive single. So GSW hasn't been in this position in a while, trailing in the 7th. And now Snyder facing the cleanup hitter, Pappas. So a leadoff single. By Taylor. And now Snyder facing Pappas. Snyder misses down low. Ball 1. Bullpen continues to work down there. Is that Cole Garrett, who pitched in game 1 yesterday, starts to loosen for the Canes. Snyder checks first. Off-speed pitch misses, I guess. 2 balls and no strikes. That certainly looked like a strike, Keith. And that was not the big looping breaking ball. So Snyder behind in the count, 2-0. And there's a rocket over Hunter Foster's head. That's a one-hopper off the wall. So Gage Taylor had to hold a little bit at first, but back-to-back hits here to start the 7th, and the Canes are in trouble. So Snyder gives up a rocket into center field for a first hit, and then a drive over the head of Hunter Foster that one-hops the center field fence by the cleanup hitter Pappas. And now Gonzalez comes to the plate, the Francis Marion home run hitting leader. So Snyder's worked himself into a jam here in the 7th. Snyder works from the stretch. And Gonzalez hammers it through the infield that was drawn in. Martin comes up throwing. Gage Taylor scores easily from first. And Francis Marion is extended to a 6-3 lead. So Snyder, 3 batters. He's given up 3 hard hit balls, and this may be it as Josh McDonald makes his way to the mound. Cole Garrett warming up. And I got to believe we're going to have a pitching change. Coach McDonald wasting no time as he comes out to the mound. So we'll be back on the Surge Sports Network after this pitching change. Okay.
Batting number 21.
We're back after the pitching change. So Matt Snyder faced 3 batters, gave up 3 hits. Coach McDonald goes to the bullpen and calls on junior right-hander Cole Garrett. Cole pitched an inning and 2/3 yesterday in game 1, facing Alex Griffith here. And he's inherited a mess. First and third, nobody out. Canes trail 6-3 here in the 7th. Cole Garrett, a 6'1 junior, Nashville, Georgia, Barron County High School. By way of Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College, ABAC. Down in Tifton, Georgia, coached by Brandon Reeder, former Hurricanes pitcher. On the year, Cole, 2 wins and 4 losses. This is his 18th appearance. He also has 4 starts. Cole with a 12.34 ERA, 38 and 2/3 innings, 64 hits, 60 runs, 53 are earned, 29 walks, 31 strikeouts, and he's behind 2-0 to the Patriot catcher. 2 balls and no strikes. Cole Garrett from the stretch, fastball. Griffiths pounds that into right field. That's going to be extra bases. So 4 consecutive hits to start the inning here. And that increases the lead to 7-3. Runners at second and third.
Batting number 16. C.J. Mackinson.
Still nobody out. The shortstop, C.J. Mackinson, comes to the dish. GSW, a couple more arms loosening. Number 34, freshman Jacob Brown is joined down there by, who else is that down there, guys? Oh, Gerald Donaldson gets up and moving. So Mackinson comes to the plate after a Griffiths double. And Francis Marion looking to blow this thing open here. Nobody out. Runners at second and third. Canes trailing 7-3. Garrett's fastball in there for strike 1. Canes had a 3-2 lead going into the 6th, and it's unraveled in a hurry. This is the second pitcher of the inning. Garrett's fastball misses low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mackinson, the shortstop. In an ideal situation here. 2 on, nobody out. And he's got a level count of 1-1 here. Garrett's fastball swung and fouled at the plate. So Cole Garrett ahead here, 1-2. Canes still looking to get the first out of the inning. See if we have some of that late inning magic. We're going to need it. And a 1-2 pitch. Bounced up the middle for another hit. So 5 consecutive hits off the GSW bullpen here to start the Francis Marion 7th.
Batting number 40. Brad Kemp.
And Kemp comes to the plate, the freshman outfielder. Flared a single into left field last inning. So first and third, nobody out. As we said, 4 straight hits by Francis Marion here to start the 7th, and the Canes are down 8-3. Cole Garrett comes set. In there for strike 1. No midweek games coming up this week for GSW, but a huge 3-game series with North Carolina Pembroke. Lots of playoff implications on the line next weekend. Scheduled to go off on Saturday and Sunday, but we'll see what the weather looks like. Cole Garrett, the 0-1 pitch. Kemp swings and misses for strike 2. GSW tied the school record for conference wins yesterday. They picked up their 12th win, so 3 innings left today, and then 3 more games next weekend to break that record. Kemp behind 0-2. And Garrett gets him fishing, so he swings and misses. So Cole Garrett gets the first out of the inning on a strikeout.
Patrick Jackson.
And the 9-hole, Patrick Jackson, the second baseman, comes to the dish. Eight-3 here in the 7th. Francis Marion, the last 3 innings, have put up some crooked numbers here on the scoreboard. Cole Garrett from the stretch. Fastball low and inside. 1 ball, no strikes to the 9-hole hitter, Patrick Jackson. Second baseman has had a good day, made a couple of nice plays behind first base on pop-ups in this wind. Cole Garrett behind 0-1. Slow rolling ball to second. Beta couldn't get out of his glove in time. I don't think they would have had him anyway, but fielder's choice gets another run in. Jackson will be on first base. Griffiths comes around to score the Francis Marion 9th run. So they've scored 2, then 3, then 4, Keith, and that's a tough deal. They turn the order over again. Back to the leadoff man. Hardy, one of the freshmen in the lineup like we talked about, sacrificed fly in his last at-bat. Fouls Garrett's first pitch straight back to the apartments behind home plate. So as we said, big weekend next weekend. Hopefully all the Canes fans will come out and support us. Playoff push. GSW battling Lander for that last playoff spot. Cole Garrett in there for strike 2. So after giving up 2 hits, Cole has settled down a little bit, got the next 2 guys out. And now he's facing Will Hardy. The 0-2 pitch. Spiked in there. Jackson advances to second. So another runner in scoring position. As we mentioned, the GSW softball team getting ready for postseason play in about 12 or 13 days. They'll make their way up to Dahlonega again to play in the PBC Peach Belt Championships. The 1-2 pitch fouled back into the net. So congratulations to Coach Levering. They guarantee themselves a 500 season overall. They guarantee themselves a 500 season at least in the Peach Belt. 2 games left. But they set a school record with 10 Peach Belt Conference wins with their split yesterday against Flagler. Cole Garrett with Jackson on second. The 1-2 pitch to Hardy. Change speeds. Tough play for Huff. He makes the play, steps on first, and that ends the 7th inning, but not before Francis Marion picks up 4 runs on 4 hits. No GSW errors. 1 runner left on base. Your scores, we go to the bottom of the 7th. Francis Marion 9, GSW 3. Okay, back on the Surge Sports Network as Jason Beta leads off the bottom of the 7th. First pitch swinging, hits a high fly ball into left field. 1 pitch, 1 out. So Orlando's come in and done a real nice job.
Now batting number 1, Tyler Skelton.
Shortstop third baseman Tyler Skelton for GSW comes to the dish. Golf team finished tied for 5th, Keith. I was a little bit off. I said 7th. That's where they finished the round, but other teams were still out playing. So if you came back to the field, so Darcy Donaldson and the golf team finished in a tie for 5th in the Peach Belt Championships, which is where we finished last year. Unbelievable conference for golf. You'll see many of the nation's top 25 golf teams in the Peach Belt or in the Sunshine State Conference. So certainly a fertile region for really good golf teams. So Darcy and his group moved up a couple spots today to finish for a tie for 5th. Skelton rockets the 1-strike pitch up the middle for the Canes' 8th hit of the afternoon.
Now batting number 20, Jonathan Martin.
1-out single for Skelton. It's going to bring up right fielder Jonathan Martin. Martin, in his last at-bat, hit a bases-clearing double into the bullpen in right field to give the Canes a short-lived 3-2 lead. So he comes to the plate now. He's got 31 RBIs on the season. Hit his 17th double earlier, as we said in the 5th inning. So a 1-out Skelton single. The Canes trail 9-3 here in the final game of this set. Orlando came in, and Martin bounces one foul. Over there to the first baseman, Pappas. Gloved it about 5 feet to the foul side of first base, so no balls and a strike to the right fielder, Jonathan Martin. Orlando comes set, checks Skelton. Misses low, ball 1. Well, the Canes this year, we've had some dramatic comebacks. We're asking a lot here, 6 down in the 7th. But we'll see what we can do if we got any of that magic left to get us our school record 13th conference win. This is Francis Marion's last regular season game, and obviously their last Peach Belt game. Off-speed pitch by Orlando misses. 2 balls and a strike. Action in the Francis Marion bullpen. Action in the Georgia Southwestern bullpen. Martin digs in. Orlando checks Skelton. The 2-1 pitch. Martin hits it high, foul ball. Near the bullpen. Good effort, but no way that it could be fielded. I can't tell. Who's their third baseman, Keith? I couldn't see the number. Wadsworth gave it a chase. Is it really? No, it's not. It's a single-digit number. It's not Wadsworth. Well, whoever it is did a great job hustling out there. The 2-2 pitch, Orlando misses outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. It is number 9? Oh, we're getting some help from the Francis Marion fans. Thank you. So it was Wadsworth. It's hard to tell with the jerseys with the red on the blue. So always helpful. Parents from the visiting team have to help out the radio that doesn't get to see these guys very often. The 3-2 pitch. Wow. Martin gets to first base via the walk.
Number 15, Hunter Foster.
And that's going to bring up the cleanup hitters. Freshman Hunter Foster. Tough pitch to lay off of there by Martin, but he earned a walk on a 3-2 pitch. So let's see if the Canes can make it interesting. Pizza Hut delivered. It's going to be some cold pizza on the bus for Francis Marion. There's still plenty of time left in this game, and that won't make the 6.5-hour drive home any easier. Some cold Pizza Hut pizza, Keith. It's not going to do it on Easter Sunday. Orlando comes in. Hunter Foster fouls it back. No balls and a strike. So Canes got runners at first and second here. 1 out. Beta started the inning with a pop fly to left field. Skelton singled right up the middle, and Martin earned a full count walk. And now Hunter Foster behind in the count 0-1. Breaking pitch in there. Strike 2 by Patrick Orlando. As we said, a junior right-handed pitcher. Coming out of the bullpen, pitched a little bit yesterday in the doubleheader. And now comes in today to try to close things down. He's got a comfortable 9-3 lead. He's got 2 on, 1 out, but an 0-2 count to the freshman center fielder, Hunter Foster. Orlando comes set, the pitch. Fastball missed upstairs, so 1 ball and 2 strikes. Skelton leads off second. Martin not being held at first as the Canes trail by 6. Pappas plays behind the runner. Orlando gets the sign from Griffith. Comes set. Checks Skelton. And the 1-2 pitch. Foster stays alive, chops it foul over by Coach McDonald. Down into the Hurricane bullpen. Looks like Brooks McConnell down there guarding things. Action still in the GSW bullpen. Francis Marion bullpen. There's a guy standing there, but he's not really warming up. So Orlando will do the 1-2 pitch again to freshman Hunter Foster. He comes set. The pitch. Swung on and missed. So big strikeout there for Orlando. It's 2 outs now in the 7th. And that's going to bring up the Canes' designated hitter, number 2, Andy Moore. And Francis Marion will make a pitching change. We'll be back on the Surge Sports Network. Okay, back on the Surge Sports Network, Francis Marion completes the pitching change. Now on the mound, number 31, junior Austin Moody, a 6'3", 220-pound junior. Dillon, South Carolina. Dillon High School. Moody comes in with the best ERA on the staff, a 2.04 ERA. This will be his 15th appearance. He's 1-0 with 1 save. On the season, Moody, 17 2/3 innings, only 9 hits, 9 walks, 15 strikeouts. He starts more outside for ball 1. Team's only hitting 148 against the junior. 2 wild pitches, 4 hit batters. 6 runs on the season, only 4 earned, and he falls behind Andy Moore, 1-0. Francis Marion leads 9-3 here in Game 3. Moody from the stretch. And Moore bounces one up the – oh, wow, what a play. Great play by Jackson at second base. Saved a run. So an infield hit for Andy Moore. But a great play behind second base. Almost got it to Mackinson. But an infield single for Moore loads the bases for the Canes. So Moody doesn't give up many hits, gave up 1 there. Now the Canes have the bases loaded, trailing 9-3. Sophomore left fielder Bo Halcomb to the plate. Bo started the game off, or his first at-bat, with a really nice bunt down the third base line. He's not going to be bunting here. Fouls one straight back into the fence by the tennis court. So Moody ahead, 1, no balls and a strike. So Canes trailing 9-3 for Francis Marion. 9 runs, 12 hits, 1 error. The Canes 3 runs, 9 hits and an error. Francis Marion blew it open back in the top half of this inning by picking up 4 runs. A Bo Halcomb hit could slice into that lead, but they got to do it against Francis Marion's top ERA guy. Austin Moody misses low, so it's 1 ball and 1 strike. As we said, Moody's 15th appearance. 1 win, no losses, and a save. And a very impressive stat line, although he gave up an infield single to Andy Moore in his first batter that he faced. So Halcomb digs in, 1 ball, 1 strike. The sack's packed for the Hurricanes. Moody misses outside, so it's 2 balls and a strike. Skelton on third base. He got on board with a base hit. Martin on second. He was aboard via the walk. And then Andy Moore, the designated hitter at first, on by an infield single. So the Canes' sacks are packed. 2 balls and a strike. Moody facing Halcomb. First-year player, left fielder. Marion Military Institute over in Alabama. Wow, fastball in there for strike 2. That hasn't been a strike most of the day. Umpire struggling a little bit today. It was low and outside, so he missed it both ways, and the chirping continues. So Moody comes set, the 2-2 pitch to Canes left fielder Bo Halcomb. Fastball downstairs, 3 balls, 2 strikes, so nowhere for Moody to put Halcomb. First baseman Bradley Huff on deck. If he calls him out on strikes. Get ready, Micklig. Moody gets the sign from Griffith. The payoff pitch to Halcomb. Down and away. So Moody walks Halcomb on the full count, and the Canes cut it to 9-4. Bases still loaded. And bring in Bradley Huff to the plate. So Moody, statistically one of Francis Marion's best pitchers, giving up an infield single and a walk to keep the inning alive from the stretch. Moody in there for strike 1. Hurricanes still have the bases loaded. Action in the Francis Marion bullpen. Moody comes set, the 0-1 pitch to Huff. Chopped foul. Coach McDonald does a good job. He never moves when the ball's hit. Very stoic. Inside the coach's box. So Huff 0-2. Got to put one in play here and give us a chance to keep the inning alive. Matthew Mamadas on deck. Mamadas is due. We'd like to get him to the plate. The 0-2 pitch. Moody throws it outside, and you never know what the way that guy's been calling it. You go fishing, you might get one. A ball and 2 strikes to the Canes' first baseman. Senior Bradley Huff. Got the average up to 270 today coming into the game. Looking for his first hit this afternoon. This would be a great time to get it. Moody comes set, the 1-2. And Huff hits a towering fly ball to left field, or center field. And an easy out recorded. So for the Canes, 1 run, 2 hits. No Francis Marion runner errors. 3 runners left on base. We go to the 8th. Francis Marion 9, GSW 4. Back after this on the Surge Sports Network. Back here for the top of the 8th on the Surge Sports Network. A new pitcher for the Canes, number 23, sophomore Jared Donaldson. Toes the rubber. Facing senior Fred Wadsworth, the third baseman for Francis Marion, and he plunks him right on the number 9. So first pitch, Donaldson nails Wadsworth for the season. Donaldson making his 19th appearance, all out of the bullpen. He's got a 1-1 record. A 9.28 ERA, 32 innings, 40 hits, 36 runs, 33 earned, 26 walks, 23 strikeouts, and teams are batting .305 against him. And the 3-hole hitter, Gage Taylor, comes to the plate after Wadsworth gets beaned. So the Canes need a quiet 8th if we're going to try to make any headway here. Donaldson's fastball in there for strike 1. So Wadsworth came in to play third, and in his first at-bat, he gets plunked on Donaldson's first pitch. So Francis Marion, leadoff runner aboard here in the 8th. 9-4, your score. Game 3 of this 3-game set. Taylor drills one past Huff at first. So the Canes bullpen again struggling. So a double by Taylor after a plunking of Wadsworth. And Francis Marion's got something going here in the 8th. 2 on, nobody out. Canes bullpen back up. So Pappas, the cleanup hitter, in a spot to do some damage. Donaldson, the 6'2 sophomore at Albany, Terrell Academy. Big swing and a miss by Pappas. Looking to do some damage. What's wrong, Keith? So, I may be the bad luck charm. This is my second game calling, and we lost to Francis Marion and Lenore Ryan, and now it looks like we're in trouble here against Francis Marion, so maybe we got to bring Ryan and Scott Westbrook back. Donaldson ahead 0-1. Oh, boy. Pappas hits a gapper. That's going to be trouble. One hopper off the regional eye care sign. That'll easily score both runs. Pappas winds up on second. Coach McDonald already on his way to the mound before the ball even comes back into play. So 2-run score. Should make it 11-4, right, guys? It's 11-4. So Donaldson's day will be done after 3 batters. And as Coach McDonald goes to make the call to Jacob Brown, we'll be back on the Surge Sports Network. All right, back here on the Surge Sports Network. Pitching change for GSW. Now on the mound, number 34, freshman Jacob Brown, 6'3", from Dallas, Georgia, North Paulding High School. Comes in with the Canes trailing 11-4. Runner on second base, nobody out. Facing Gonzalez, skips it in the dirt for ball 1 on the season. Taking a look at Brown. This is his 13th appearance. He started 2 games. He has an 0-2 record, of .568 ERA. 19 total innings, 24 hits, 15 walks, 17 strikeouts. Teams hitting .282 against him. So Gonzalez facing Brown, who misses ball 2. So Canes trailing 11-4 here in the 8th. And Francis Marion still looking to do some damage. Their season home run leader at the dish and the designated hitter Gonzalez. Freshman Morgan Bell, the left-hander, begins to warm up in the GSW bullpen. Brown in there for a strike. Gonzalez takes 2-1. Pappas at second. A one-hop double to deep left center off the regional eye care sign. Plated 2 Patriots. Pappas fouls the 2-1 pitch right back into the net. Evens the count at 2-2. Really nice crowd here for Easter Sunday. As this will wrap up the 3-game set. Huge series next weekend. So I think we had a dead ball. The ball hit Pappas, I believe. Everybody's still staying on the base. I'm not really sure what happened. What happened?
Now batting number 21, Alex Griffith.
It hit the umpire? Oh, the ball hit the umpire. Okay, I thought it hit Pap. All right. So a base hit. For Gonzalez off a ball that hit the umpire. I thought it hit the Francis Marion runner. So things are going from bad to worse for GSW here in the 8th. Runners on the corners. Catcher Alex Griffin steps in. Brown from the stretch. Misses low and away, ball 1. So Gonzalez leads the team with 8 homers. Griffiths was 6. The wind has really picked up here in the last half inning. GSW on the ropes here in the 8th. Still nobody out. Runners on the corners. Brown misses down and away again. 2-0. All quiet in the Francis Marion bullpen. Freshman Morgan Bell continues to heat it up in the GSW bullpen. Brown comes set. Griffith fouls it back to the tennis court. So 2 balls and a strike to the senior catcher for Francis Marion. Pappas leads off a third. On board via a double. Gonzalez with the base hit off a first. Mamadas, Beta, Huff. The 27th double play for the Hurricanes. Pappas comes across to score at Francis Marion's 12th run. But the double play clears the bases.
Now batting number 16, C.J. Mackinson.
And the shortstop Mackinson to the dish. So 3 more runs here for Francis Marion in the 8th. They now lead 12-4. So GSW looking for the first sweep in 7 years of a conference foe. Mackinson hits it right at Halcomb. And that ends the 8th inning. 3 more across for Francis Marion. Your score as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Francis Marion 12, GSW 4. Back after this on the Surge Sports Network. Back here for the bottom of the eighth on the Surge Sports Network, freshman shortstop Matthew Mamadas digs in against the third pitcher of the afternoon for Francis Marion, Austin Moody. First pitch swinging, Mamadas pulls it foul into the GSW bullpen. Brooks McConnell with a good play down there, guarding the action in the bullpen, so good job by Brooks. Mamadas in the top half of the eighth, him and Jason Beta combined for their 27th double play, which is fourth in the Peach Belt Conference amongst double play combos. So Mamadas to Beta to Huff got us out of trouble there in the eighth. And Mamadas hits a flare out to right field. Easy out there for Kemp.
Now batting number 24, Jacob Harrell.
And that's going to bring up the catcher, Jacob Harrell. So the Canes looking at a big weekend next weekend. If the score holds the way it is here, GSW and Lander will be tied for the 8th playoff spot going into next weekend. But GSW holds the tiebreaker thanks to their 2 out of 3 wins last weekend at home. Lander on the road at North Georgia, second in the conference. GSW hosting North Carolina Pembroke, who is 10th in the conference. So GSW just has to stay even with Lander, and the tiebreaker would give us the 8th and final spot as Harrow grounds one up the middle. Mackinson to the glove side. Over to Pappas for easy out number 2. Good play by Mackinson. So 2 to the plate, 2 quickly retired. It's going to bring up the leadoff hitter, Jason Beta. So if the score holds, you're looking at 3 huge games next weekend between North Carolina Pembroke and GSW. GSW needs no help. If we win, we're in, which is a good place to be for Coach McDonald in his first year, as we said earlier, picked by every coach in the league to finish dead last, GSW. And here we are in a position where as long as we win, we're in the postseason. Moody starts Beta off with an off-speed pitch. Jason fouls it right behind home plate. So if you're around next weekend, really need you to come out and pull the Hurricanes on. We've won our last 3 series. Took 2 out of 3 on the road at Columbus 2 weeks ago. Last weekend took 2 out of 3 from Lander. This weekend took the first 2 from Francis Marion. Moody misses low and away. Even the count at 1-1. So we certainly need the Canes Nation out in full force next weekend as North Carolina Pembroke comes to town. Moody misses inside. 2 balls and a strike to the switch hitting Jason Beta. Francis Marion looking well within the margin for a postseason berth. As we said, this is their final game of the season. So they'll have some time off before Peach Belt tournament action. Beta chops one foul. Evens the count at 2-2. Nothing happened in the Francis Marion. Oh, there is some action now in the Francis Marion bullpen. As we said, 12-4. Francis Marion, 12 runs, 15 hits and an error. GSW, 4 runs, 9 hits and an error. GSW had a 3-2 lead going into the 6th, and Francis Marion has exploded for 10 runs in the last 3 innings to take a commanding 12-4 lead. Moody's 2-2 pitch to Beta upstairs. Runs the count full. Sophomore third baseman Tyler Skelton on deck. Moody from the stretch. Beta from the left-hand side. The 3-2 pitch, chopped to Jackson. Over to Pappas, and that'll end it for the Canes. No runs, no hits, no Francis Marion errors. Nobody left on base. We go to the 9th. Francis Marion 12, GSW 4. Back after this on the Surge Sports Network.
batting number 40.
Back here for the ninth inning on the Surge Sports Network. New pitcher for GSW, freshman Morgan Bell on the mound. Southpaw making his 12th appearance. Misses ball one to a freshman, Kemp, the outfielder for Francis Marion. On the season, Morgan Bell, his 12th appearance, as we said, 1-1. He had a start. Started against Augusta University at the second weekend. In there for strike one to even the count at 1-1. Bell, 14 2/3 innings, 15 hits, 8 walks, 15 strikeouts. Team's hitting .242 against him. Interesting story. Came to GSW and walked on, open tryout. And Coach McDonald found him a left-handed pitcher. So as the foul ball almost hits men's basketball player R.J. Sessions, not paying attention as he's on his phone. So Bell ahead, 1-2. As we said, Morgan showed up on campus, came to an open tryout, and now he's throwing his 15th inning for GSW, and he got a start. So very proud of Morgan and what he's been able to do. Pitching to an ERA of 7.98 on the year. The 2-2 pitch. Grounder to Huff. Take it unassisted. So Bell gets the first out of the afternoon for him. Then the second baseman, Patrick Jackson, comes to the plate. So Francis Marion looking to wrap up their season with the win here, keep them above 500 in the league. They would go to 15-14 if they can hang on in the bottom of the ninth. It would be their 25th win overall. Been a while, a couple of years since they've been in the conference tournament, so they'll be one of the 8 to play down in St. Augustine. The conference tournament hosted by Flagler. Flagler does a great job with the tournaments that they host. They just got done hosting the golf championships down at the Slammer and Squire Golf Course, the World Golf Village, the Golf Hall of Fame down in St. Augustine. GSW participated this weekend, finished a tie for 5th. So Coach Donaldson and his group, for the 3rd time, I think, in a row, Keith, we finished 5th in the conference tournament. Good round today. First team all-conference performer Vincent Norman finished 8th as an individual. The 3-0 pitch. Bell comes in there for a strike to Jackson. So Flagler, after hosting the golf tournament, they will also host the baseball tournament. Interesting that they would have 2 venues the way pool play is. As Jackson skies the 3-1 pitch to left field. Halcomb. 2 up, 2 down. Top of the order for Francis Marion and Hardy. But 2 separate venues. The Flagler College Baseball Complex and also either St. John's River or Florida State College, one of the junior colleges, hosts the other venue. So the first couple of days when there's pool play going on, as Hardy hits another one to Halcomb. Bo's busy here. But 3 up, 3 down for Bell in the top of the ninth. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Canes need some magic. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Francis Marion 12, GSW 4. All right, back here for the ninth inning. Bottom of the ninth, Canes trail 12-4 in Game 3 here against Francis Marion. Tyler Skelton. Moody's pitch goes to the backstop there for ball one. So the Canes are going to need some, pull a rabbit out of the hat here if we could come up with 8 runs in the bottom half against Francis Marion, statistically their best pitcher. The 1-0 pitch. Skelton skies it to the bullpen area in right field. Pappas, Kemp give it chase. No chance to get that. Evens the count at 1-1 as everybody gets back to their positions. Coach Justin Payne, the new women's basketball coach, here with his wife and son. Certainly happy to have Justin here. Spent his first week on campus. Press conference was last Monday. Certainly excited to have him and his family here. Moody comes set. The 1-1 pitch to Skelton. Skelton fouls it straight back to the net. So Moody works ahead. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As we said, huge weekend next weekend for GSW. In the driver's seat for the last playoff spot, we do have the tiebreaker over Lander. Lander on the road at North Georgia, who was swept this weekend in a non-conference series by the University of Tampa. The 1-2 pitch. And probably not, Mackinson just effortless out there at shortstop. 1 down. And Jonathan Martin comes to the plate. Well, back in the 5th, Martin cleared the bases for GSW. He hit a rocket down the right field line that wound up rattling around the Francis Marion bullpen. Cleared the bases and gave GSW a very short-lived 3-2 lead. So Martin has 3 of our 4 RBIs today. Comes up with nobody on base. 1 out here, 12-4 in the 9th. Big chop. That's going to be a base hit. So Martin on board with a hit.
Now batting number 15, Hunter Foster.
So the Canes haven't hit Moody hard. Got 2 infield singles. It's going to bring up freshman center fielder Hunter Foster to the plate. Foster could probably use a few days off with that turf toe he's been battling. Like we said, no midweek game this week for the Canes. So they should be well rested when Pembroke comes into town. Foster, Mackinson took one right off the face. Still got the force at second. So Mackinson's self-defense there on the 1-hopper by Foster. But his flip to Jackson got Martin. So 2 outs. Francis Marion 1 out away from salvaging 1 of the 3. Designated hitter Andy Moore to the dish. Couple innings back, a little bit over 3 hours today for the game on Easter Sunday. Beautiful weather. Francis Marion should be home they can get out of here in the next hour. They should be home before midnight back in Florence. But they don't have any games to prepare for until the conference tournament as their season ends today. The 1-strike pitch to Moore. And Mackinson goes to first. Then that's the ball game. So Mackinson over to Pappas ends the game. Your final score, Francis Marion 12, GSW 4. We'll give you the line score here. Francis Marion 12 runs, 15 hits, 1 error. GSW 4 runs, 10 hits, 1 error as well. So we will have that huge series next weekend with North Carolina Pembroke with the win today. Francis Marion closes their regular season 25 wins, 19 losses, 15-14 in the Peach Belt. GSW drops to 19-28, 12-15 in league play. As we said, the next chance on the Surge Sports Network to catch GSW baseball next weekend. We'll have you check our website for the weather, but it's scheduled to go off as 2 on Saturday and 1 on Sunday. But that could change, weather permitting. Again, big weekend next weekend. Please check the website, check your Twitter feed, check the alerts. We need all the support we could get as we try to get that 8th and final playoff spot in the Peach Belt Conference Tournament. So signing off for the Surge Sports Network, Director of Athletics Mike Leader, wishing you a happy rest of the Easter.